Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. So I hope you're all getting ready for Christmas. If you're watching this video when it first comes out, we're very close to Christmas, aren't we? And I know a lot of you will be looking forward to Christmas. And I know that a lot of you will not be looking forward to Christmas. Christmas is not a respecter of, sadness. You could be sad for many reasons coming up to this Christmas. Could be, as it said in the video there, it could be financial reasons. Christmas is a strain, even if you've got all your loved ones with you. It can be a strain financially. What I've decided years ago is don't do that anymore. Don't do all this great big rush for presents and cards and you've got to have all the right food, etc. Just don't do it. You don't have to do it. It's just almost a conspiracy to make you spend more money, isn't it? So there's that. There's financial reasons. There's health reasons. There's a lot of people facing Christmas in poor health, and Christmas won't make it better, will it? In fact, it highlights it even more because, the things that maybe you used to do at Christmas, you can't do now. So that's physical health. Then you've got mental health. We've only got to look at the Rob Reiner situation and his wife, Michelle, killed by their own son just a couple of days ago, just before Christmas. And although they are Jewish, and for them it was the first day of Hanukkah, sort of crime, tragedy. It doesn't respect the fact that it's, a big celebration. In fact, if anything, it can make it worse. It can heighten the way that people feel when they've got mental health issues. Then there's bereavement. If you've lost someone, then it may be a person or it may be a pet. All these things, your first Christmas, different to how you've had Christmases before, because suddenly someone is not there with you, or your pet is not there, or, for whatever reason. It could be a relationship breakdown. It could be problems in the family. So it may not be actually bereavement in the sense that somebody has died. And then what we're going to talk about in this video is, of course, what if your family member has gone missing? You have no idea what's happened to them. So not as if you know that they've been murdered, which of course is terrible, but maybe you've at least been able to bring them home, give them a send-off. But in this case that we're going to talk about today, of course, of little Gus Lamont, little boy just disappeared off his family's sheep station where they were living in Yunta in Australia. Was playing 1 minute in the sand pile outside his house. One of his GMAs left him to play because she was caring for his little brother. And when she went back out to call him in, he was not there. This is all we know so far. Whether it's true or not, we don't know. The police have not declared anything else in Gus's case. They have not made it a suspicious case. So we have to take the GMA's word for it. And Gus had another GMA who was actually the GPA initially, and Josie, who undertook a transition around about 10 years ago. She was at the sheep shearing part of the sheep station with Gus's mum, Josie. Apparently, again, this is what we've been told. Who knows what the truth is. And they weren't even there at the homestead. The other GMA was looking after Gus and his little brother, but Gus went missing. So what I just want to talk about is a bit about that. How must this feel for someone? Although it's horrible to lose someone, of course, to know for certain that they're not with us any longer. It's got to be worse, hasn't it, in a way, to not even know. I mean, Gus has gone missing from this very remote place. Where is he? You cannot believe that he could be alive. A little toddler since September the 27th when he went missing. There can't be much hope that he could be alive. So it's Christmas. This is the 7 News, Australian 7 News. Christmas will be marked not by celebration but by sorrow as the family of missing 4-year-old August Gus Lamont endure their first festive season without him. Gus vanished on September the 27th this year in 2025 while playing outside his family's Oak Park homestead near Yunta in the South Australian outback. And although 2 months have gone by, in fact, it must be more than that now, is it? September the 27th? No, September, October, November, December. Despite one of the largest search operations in recent memory, police have not managed to find this boy. And they drained the dam, they've searched the area, they've been in mine shafts, they've done all sorts of things, but nothing has come out about this case. So instead of wrapping presents and watching Gus tear them open with his little brother, his family are left staring at an empty chair at the Christmas table. And, not only this family, I mean, that's the other thing I want to say. There's lots of other families of missing people who are facing this same sort of horrible thing. We miss him more than words can express, family friend Bill Harbison told 7 News. That was quite a while ago, though, to be honest. The family have not commented at all. Of course, there was a bit of a kerfuffle, wasn't there, in the media when the Daily Mail reporter went round to the house and Josie, one of Gus's GMAs, came out with a gun that apparently they had with them to kill a snake on the porch, apparently. Came out with a gun and threatened the Daily Mail reporter, probably on, there's sort of part of me thinks, that was a bit of the wrong thing to do. And then there's another part of me that thinks they were probably on the, totally at the edge of their tether. Let me know what you think, as always, in comments. So, this time of year is hard for the families of missing persons, especially of young children such as Gus. So the Mist Foundation founder and CEO, Lauren O'Keefe, told 7 News, every day of the not knowing is excruciating, but there are especially difficult times of the year for families of missing persons. Their birthday tends to be the most difficult, but anytime families are supposed to be together, such as during the holiday season, exacerbates their absence. Some families may pay tribute and acknowledge that absence, such as leaving an empty table setting or leaving presents under the tree for them. But for some, that acknowledgement might just be too difficult and they just get through the day or period however best they can. They probably just sort of hope for it to be over. It's a very complex and unique form of grief. So we encourage families living with ambiguous loss to do and feel whatever is right for them. So this lady, Lauren, her brother disappeared on the July the 15th, 2011. And there he is, Dan. And unfortunately, Dan had seems taken his own life, but his remains were not found until 5 years after he went missing. So for years, she and her family did not know where he was, as they rallied the community to search for him, gaining national attention via the Facebook page Dan Come Home. So he was found in a crawl space underneath the family home, and the loss led to Lauren to found the Mist Foundation to support other families going through the trauma of a missing person. Ambiguous loss is the complex grief families of missing people experience, she said. It's an uncertain loss, which complicates and delays the grieving process and results in unresolved grief. Psychologists around the world consider it to be the most traumatic type of loss and the most unmanageable. The continual nature of it is agonizing because human beings do not cope well with uncertainty. Our brains are hardwired to try and fill gaps in knowledge. So the imagined trauma families of missing loved ones endure has a profound impact on their health and well-being. Unlike a standard loss, where there are rituals and customs to aid the grieving process and help people accept the loss, ambiguous loss does not get easier to accept over time, it gets harder. Lauren told 7 News that many families never give up hope their missing loved one will return, and her foundation is there to support them with tools such as the hope narratives to read while they go through complex emotions. There is always hope, and although the hope may change over time, it's always there, she said. And like with any trauma, the first step towards healing is knowing you are not alone. There is a much bigger population of people that can understand your grief than you realise. The number of Australians reported missing has almost doubled in the nearly 13 years since Lauren's foundation began. Around 38,000 reports of missing persons are made in Australia every year, with around 10% of those who remain missing for longer than 3 months. This is a national crisis that deserves more attention than fleeting headlines, she said. As the search for Gus continues in Yunta, no expense has been spared trying to find answers for the Lamont family. Authorities have drained 3.2 million litres of water from a dam. Search crews have combed 470 kilometres of rugged terrain amid scorching heat. Helicopters, drones, Aboriginal trackers and SES crews have all joined the search effort. The only clue uncovered was a single footprint found 500 metres from the homestead. The most recent search revealed 6 undocumented mine shafts near the property, relics of South Australia's gold rush era, but none offered answers. Police Commissioner Grant Stevens admitted the difficulty of the task, saying there are lots of places a small child might find themselves which are hard to identify. For Yunta's tight-knit community, Gus's absence has been crushing. Families who rallied to scour the scrubland now face Christmas with a child still missing and questions still unanswered. Authorities stress there is no evidence of foul play. They keep saying that, but also they have not ruled it out. And the Lamont family have indicated they will not give up hope. Even as the festive season deepens the ache of his absence, the family's only wish is for Gus to come home. So yeah, if you do know anything, of course, you need to contact the police. If you need help, and these are Australian phone numbers. If you need help in a crisis, call Lifeline. They're on 131114, and it gives you further sort of contact details if you need it. Now, if you're in a different country than Australia, of course, you have to find out who can help you in your area. Just a simple Google search will tell you at least, you know, what sort of authorities are available or help that may be available. So, you know, if this sort of thing is triggering you coming up to Christmas, maybe you have a missing person, or maybe you have had a missing person, please, you know, contact someone to give you help in this matter. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about, I haven't talked about Gus for a little while because, you know, to be perfectly honest, there has been nothing to say since they searched the mine shafts and were unsuccessful in finding anything. Haven't heard any further news, but I'm always looking for news of Gus. You know, I hope to God that this family gets some answers, and if there has been any foul play in this situation, I hope it comes to light. You know, what happens in the dark comes into the light. Let's hope so. No, of course, there's a little bit of an issue about when Gus actually was last seen by anyone outside of the family. I think the only, as far as we know, as far as I know, he was last seen in the March of this year, 2025, and he went along to be enrolled in his nursery school. As far as I know, if anyone knows any better, please leave a comment to let me know. But as far as I know, that's the last time he was seen by anyone outside the family. So, of course, that's not surprising in a way, bearing in mind where they live in this remote sheep station. Why would he be seen by anybody else? You know, and don't forget, this is a complicated family dynamic. We've got a family here where the mum and the dad, although they were still together, they lived separately because apparently, again, allegedly, the father, the dad, didn't get on with the GMA. This is Josie, the GMA who had had a transition about 10 years ago. You know, there's a lot of complicated family dynamics here in this whole situation. This is the mum. And this is Gus, of course. And where is he? Where is Gus? What happened to him when he disappeared, apparently, on that September day? You know, we know people don't disappear into thin air. He hasn't been beamed up by Starship Enterprise. He is somewhere. Either he's befallen an accident or some foul play has befallen him. So I just wanted to talk about that. You know, I just hope something gets found out one way or another about this whole situation. Anyway, that's all I've got to say. I will see you very soon in the next video. And of course, as always, may your God go with you. Bye.